Good morning. Till date, we have completed 2 units. The first one we completed is classical and quantum statistics. After that, we started relativity. The second unit we completed is relativity. Let us move to the third unit. Third unit is about electromagnetic theory and Maxwell's equations. Electromagnetic theory and Maxwell's equations. Maxwell's equations are very important when you study electrodynamics. Electrodynamics needed in all recent trends for microwaves, even for communication purpose. Today we use microwave communication, digitized microwave communication for telecasting, for all telecasting purposes, even for any communication purpose, microwaves are used. To understand the microwaves, various related phenomena, etc., we need the knowledge of Maxwell equations. So this chapter is important because you may need the concepts we are going to study here for your higher studies in physics. The first article of this unit is Ampere's law and steady state current. Ampere's law and steady state current. Let us first see what is steady state current, and after that we shall move for Ampere's law. You have studied electricity and magnetism last year. I think it was paper number 4, electricity and magnetism. You studied there what is voltage, what is current, current transient, voltage transient, current transient, various circuits for alternating current and alternating voltages, some instruments which are used for these purposes, etc. What is electric current? Electric current is flow of electrical charges through a conductor. What is a rough idea about electric current? Electric current is nothing but flow of electrical charges through a conductor. Mathematical definition is I is equal to dq by dt. Mathematical definition is I is equal to dq by dt. And so the definition for electrical current is, the electrical current is defined as a rate of flow of charges, time rate of flow of charges. Electrical current can be defined as time rate of flow of charges through a conductor in a particular direction. Electrical current can be defined as the time rate of flow of electrical charges through a conductor in a particular direction. It means that whenever electrical charges are moving through a conductor, electrical current is flowing through that conductor. How to decide the direction of the current? To decide the direction of the current, direction of motion of positive charges is considered to decide direction of flow of electrical current. Direction of motion of positive charges is always considered. The direction of flow of electrical current is always taken as the direction of flow of positive charges through a conductor. Direction of flow of electrical current is always taken as direction of flow of positive charges through the conductor. When we talk of a conductor, good conductors, metals, what we find? All good conductors have free electrons, free negative electrical charges. They don't have free positive charges. The positive charges in all metals are the immobile positive ions. Immobile positive ions are fixed in the crystal structure of the metals, and therefore positive charges cannot move through the conductor. The free charge carriers in conductors are electrons, the negative electrical charges, and therefore whatever current is flowing through a conductor, that current is carried by the electrons. That current is carried by the negative electrical charges. Then how to decide the direction of flow of current through the conductor? The direction of flow of current through a conductor is always opposite to the direction of flow of electrons through the conductor. Very simple. Direction of flow of current through a conductor is always opposite to direction of flow of electrons or negative charges through the conductor. We have to keep these things in mind about the current. What is the steady state current? There are two different types of functions in general: time dependent functions, time independent functions. Similarly, we have two types of electrical currents. Electrical current can be taken as a function. We can have two different types of electrical currents: time dependent electrical current, time independent electrical current. Time dependent electrical current, the current which varies with respect to time. The current which varies with respect to time is time dependent current. Current transients, AC current, alternating current are examples of the currents which are dependent on time or time dependent electrical currents. The current which is independent of time is known as steady state current or time independent current. The electrical current which is independent of time, that electrical current is known as steady state current. Meaning of steady state: the function which is independent of time. Meaning of steady state: the function which is independent of time. So, the electrical current which is independent of time, that current is known as steady state current. This current is not changing. This current do not vary with respect to time. Such current is known as steady state electrical current. The unit used to measure current is ampere. The unit used to measure current is ampere, and 1 ampere is defined as 1 ampere is defined as the electrical current passing through a conductor when 1 coulomb of electric charge is passing through the conductor per second or per unit time. 1 ampere current can be defined as the electrical current passing through a conductor when 1 coulomb of electrical charge per unit time per second. 1 coulomb of electrical charge per second is flowing through the conductor. When 1 coulomb of charge per second is passing through the conductor, how should be the rate of flow of charge? Rate of flow of charge should be 1 coulomb per second. 1 coulomb per second. If 1 coulomb per second, this rate of flow of charge is maintained across the conductor, we can say that 1 ampere steady state current is flowing through the conductor. The current should be independent of time. The current should be constant. When time is taken into consideration, the current should be constant with respect to time. The current should not change with respect to time. That current is known as steady state current. The person in honor of which we are using the unit ampere to measure the current has given one law for electromagnetism, which is known as Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law. He gave this law for magnetic induction or magnetic field induction. We call this law as Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law. Mathematical statement of Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law is this. Line integration of B dot dl. What is B? Magnetic induction. What is dl? The line element, smallest line element of a closed path, which is a vector. B is vector, dl is also vector. And when you carry line integration around the closed path of these two, integration you obtain will be mu 0 into I. And therefore, statement of Ampere's law is, Ampere's law states that, Ampere's circuital law states that line integration of magnetic induction, line integration of magnetic field induction around a closed path, is always equal to mu 0 times I, the steady state current, mu 0 times the current I enclosed by the closed path. How should be this current? This current should be enclosed by the closed path. Then only this line integration of B dot dl around a closed path will be equal to mu 0 into I. This law is known as Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law. Let us consider a simple figure to understand the law stated in equation 1. This is the figure. let us suppose that we have a straight conductor. This is a straight long conductor. It carries current I. We have a straight conductor. It carries a current I. And we have a closed path. This conductor is passing through the center of the closed path. This conductor is passing through the center of the closed path. It means that the current is passing through the center of the closed path. Let us suppose that R is radius of this closed path. dl is smallest possible arc of this closed path. If I consider two radii corresponding to this smallest possible arc dl, this dl subtends angle d theta at the center. This B gives the magnetic induction, direction of the magnetic induction. It is always tangential. It is always tangential at every point of the closed path. Whenever a current is passing through a conductor, magnetic field is developed around the conductor. Whenever a current is passing through a conductor, magnetic field is always developed around the conductor. This B is the magnetic field induction or simply magnetic induction produced by the magnetic field, and this magnetic field is developed by the current passing through the conductor. At any point on this closed path, the magnetic induction B is given as B is equal to mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r, equation number 2. At any point on this closed path, the magnetic induction due to this current I is given by B is equal to mu 0 divided by 2 pi r into I. Mu 0 is the permeability of the free space. 2 pi is a constant corresponding to the closed path. R is radius of that closed path. I is current passing through the closed path. We can find magnetic induction B here and split this into two rectangular components. One along the radius, other tangential. At every point on the closed path, you can consider the magnetic induction and split this magnetic induction into two components. One along the radius of the closed path, other tangential to the radius. All radial components of this magnetic induction will get cancelled, because if I have magnetic induction along this radius, I will have a radius in the opposite direction coming at the center. These two will cancel each other, and this is true for every radial component of the magnetic induction. And therefore, all the radial components of the magnetic induction will get cancel each other, and what left? Only tangential components of the magnetic induction will be left. So at every point we have tangential component of the magnetic induction B. Let us try to find the magnetic induction B not at a single point. Here it gives magnetic induction B at a single point. The whole path, whole length of this closed path is 2 pi r. When it is divided by 2 pi r, this B will be magnetic induction at a single point, at any one point on the closed path. We wanted to find the whole magnetic induction around this closed path, and to get it we have to integrate equation 2. I put a circle here on the integration, meaning that I am going to consider integration, line integration around this whole closed path. Mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r, and this is what dl. The first equation, remember first equation. Equation number 3. What is this dl from the geometry of the figure? What is this dl from the geometry of the figure? This dl is the arc of this closed path. This subtends angle theta at the center of the closed path. R is radius of this closed path. Then this arc, length of the arc should be given by product of radius of the closed path and the angle subtended by the arc at the center of the closed path. That is, from the geometry of the figure, we have dl is equal to r d theta. Let us put r d theta for this dl in equation 3. So equation 3 will now become mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r into r d theta. This r get cancelled. It is constant, can be taken outside. Mu 0 I divided by 2 pi is being constant, taken outside, and this is for the mu 0 I divided by 2 pi theta 0 to 2 pi for the closed path, higher limit minus lower limit, and that is what mu 0 I divided by 2 pi into 2 pi minus 0, that is 2 pi get cancelled, and finally what we have is this mu 0 into I, equation number 4. So for the situation like in figure 1, we have line integral of magnetic induction around this closed path is equal to mu 0 times the current I. Here the closed path is a circular path or a circle. This may not be true always. In second figure, let me assume that the closed path is not a circle, although it is a closed path, but it is not circle. Let me consider this as figure 2. We shall do the same thing again. Whatever may be distance r from this point, this point, this point, this point, or this point, doesn't matter. Right? Okay. And so what we do here, we shall write here this capital R, here we shall write this capital R, here capital R, here capital R. Do the same thing. Equation number 5, equation number 6. So if we consider the other situation, what is other situation? Right? It is a current conductor carrying current I. This is a closed path, not circle, enclosing this current I. Okay. What we have to do? We are going to consider smallest possible arc, so that this R does not matter. These two R will be approximately same. Whether you consider it here, you can consider it anywhere. You are going to consider very smallest element as arc of the closed path, and therefore this value of R is not going to matter. Okay. Do the same thing with the same procedure. We will get equation 6, and what we find in equation 6 for the condition in figure 2, we find that the closed path may or may not be regular. The closed path may be regular, may not be regular. When the closed path is regular, we get integration of magnetic induction around a closed path is equal to mu 0 into I, where I is current enclosed by that path. When the path is not regular, then also we get line integration of magnetic induction around a closed path is equal to mu 0 times I, where I is the current enclosed by the irregular path. So, for situations in figure 1 and in figure 2, what we have seen, what we found? We found that the result is same. The path enclosing the current may or may not be regular. Ampere's law is always valid. This law is always valid if the path is closed path, one thing, and the closed path is enclosing the current. The path is closed path, one thing. Second, very important thing, the current should be enclosed by the path. If current is enclosed by the path, may be regular or irregular, Ampere's law is valid, and all time we will have this result for regular, irregular paths, but the current is enclosed by the path. Path may be regular, path may be irregular, but this closed path must enclose the current. If the current is enclosed by these closed paths, the result will be this one. Ampere's law is valid for irregular as well as regular paths. So, Ampere law is valid for the situations shown in figure 1 as well as in figure 2. Now, let us suppose that a situation which is entirely different from the situations in figure 1 and 2 may be encountered. This is the conductor, this is the current flowing through the conductor, and here somewhere we have a closed path. Figure 3. Let us suppose that there is this type of situation and we want to apply the Ampere circuital law to this situation. Let us try to understand what is the situation. The situation is, this is the conductor, current is flowing through the conductor. Current flowing through the conductor is I. This is the closed path. But this closed path is not enclosing the current. The current is outside the closed path. This closed path may be regular, this closed path may be irregular, doesn't matter. But how is the closed path? The closed path is not enclosing the current. The current is outside the closed path. And we want to apply Ampere's law to this closed path. Let us draw a line from center of this conductor to point B, center of the conductor to point A. Two lines are drawn such that these lines intersect the closed path in the points A, B, C, D. This arc and this arc, let me call this arc as DL1, this arc as DL2. Both arcs DL1 and DL2 subtends angle d theta at the center of the conductor. Distance of arc DL2 from the center is R2. Distance of arc DL1 from center of the conductor is R1. Let us apply Ampere's law to this closed path. That is what? This one. A, B, C, D. The closed path is A, B, C, D is equal to integration over the path AB B dot dl plus integration over the path BC B dot dl plus integration over the path CD B dot dl plus integration over the path DA B dot dl, equation number 7. Now, the sign of integration is always decided by the direction of encircling the path and direction of B. If these two are parallel, sign of integration will be positive. If these two are anti-parallel, sign of this integral will be negative. Here, B and this arc, they are approximately having 90-degree angle. Here B and this path also having approximately 90-degree angle. So for this and this, we can write this as B dl cos 90 degree plus for it is for BC and also for DA, this one. But cos 90 is 0, so this will become 0, that will become the whole integrand 0, this is 0, that will make this whole integrand 0, so this is 0, this is 0, it means that the second term is 0 and the fourth term is 0. Okay, now only two terms are left. Let us write the remaining two terms. So this equation is equal to integration of AB B dot dl plus integration of CD B dot dl. We may call this as B1 dl1 B2 dl2. This is for the B1 may be written as mu 0 I divided by 2 pi r1 dot dl1 plus B2 may be taken as mu 0 I divided by 2 pi R2 into dl2. This is for the, if these two coincide here making angle 0, here the angle will become pi, and so I have to put here, let me take mu 0 I by 2 pi, mu 0 I by 2 pi common for both these terms. And for the first one, this dl1 is dl1 into cos 0 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2 dl2 cos pi. Cos 0 is 1, cos pi is minus 1, and so this is simply equal to mu 0 I by 2 pi dl1 by r1 minus dl2 by r2. Come to the figure. What is dl1 by r1? It is angle d theta minus. What is dl2 by r2? It is again angle theta. Mu 0 I by 2 pi into 2 pi minus 2 pi, that is equal to mu 0 I by 2 pi into 0 is equal to 0, equation number 8. So what we find? We find that whenever the closed path is not enclosing the current, Ampere's law is not valid. Ampere's law is not obeyed by the closed path. That is, line integration of the magnetic induction around the closed path is 0. So, from these three situations, the conclusion we can draw is B dot dl is always equal to mu 0 I if current I is enclosed by the closed path, and this is equal to 0 if current I is not enclosed by the closed path. Ampere's circuital law, integration, line integration over a closed path of the magnetic induction around a loop is equal to mu 0 I if this current I is enclosed by the closed path. That is equal to 0 if the closed path is not enclosing the current I. This is about Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law. So, in this article we have studied the steady state current and Ampere's law or Ampere's circuital law. Hope you got it. If any question, please feel free to ask the questions. Thank you.